Temple University is undergoing remarkable changes. 9,000 students now live on or around a vibrant main campus. A multi-year effort is adding more than 300 scholars to the faculty. Nearly $500 million in construction and renovation is strengthening teaching, research, and campus life.
Temple University.
National and regional news media are paying attention to Temple's advancements. Here are just a few of the many news stories reporting on the teaching, research, community service, and leadership of Temple today. The class of 2006 was Temple's largest and most talented ever. Student enrollment reached an all-time high. SAT scores and GPAs climbed. And Temple was rated one of the most diverse student bodies in the nation. It is little wonder that students making the news reflected the impressive talent, diversity, and determination that characterized Temple. Temple students are socially aware. Inspired by the university's emphasis on experiential learning, one group of students tackled hunger in Rio de Janeiro. Using a technique known as green roof technology, the students hope to compensate for severe farmland shortages. They showed residents how to create a small aquaculture garden using inexpensive equipment and creating what the Chronicle of Higher Education called Gardens of Hope. It wasn't easy, but the Temple students were undaunted. "I imagine that it will be complicated at first," said one, "but I'm sure we will find a solution." That passionate resolve is common among Temple students. Take the case of Temple graduate student and Liberian native Massa Washington, who came to the United States 7 years ago to escape a civil war that left thousands dead. She returned to Liberia in the spring of 2006 as one of 12 members of a Truth and Reconciliation Commission. As she told USA Today, uncovering the truth is not an academic exercise, but a way to help her nation heal. There can be no reconciliation without justice until someone can answer for what was done, she says. Life and death also played a role in the education of Donnell Jackson, who overcame incredible obstacles to reach his graduation day. While his family lost everything when Hurricane Katrina struck Louisiana, Donnell never lost hope.
They said they would be here, and now they're here, regardless of everything that's happened.
Like so many, Donnell's family was evacuated to cities in Texas and Louisiana.
We rescued people and we put them on the chopper before we even got on the chopper our own self.
But hope and perseverance paid off as his family was reunited for the first time to see Donnell graduate.
I can never repay him back for what he did.
In the wake of Katrina, Donnell's family discovered that his older sister, LaQuanda, needed a kidney transplant.
My brother, he didn't have to give me his kidney, but he did, and it gave me a new lease on life.
That's my sister, I love her. It wasn't even a question in my mind about doing that.
So at graduation, Donnell, his sister, and the rest of his family celebrated an act of altruism and an academic accomplishment achieved during great adversity.
That's my baby, the man of the hour.
For Donnell and many of his fellow students, the Temple experience changes them forever. Charting how people's lives change is a major element of faculty research. In recent years, Temple has been building its reputation as an urban research university. More than 300 new scholars are joining a faculty of leading researchers whose work helps us better understand the world around us.
Hello, Dad.
Kathy Hirsch-Pasek is director of Temple's Infant Language Lab and co-author of Einstein Never Used Flashcards: How Our Children Really Learn and Why They Need to Play More and Memorize Less. She wanted to understand how children learn and discovered that young children learn best when they are at play.
Philadelphia's Temple University led a study that found infants, many of whom don't speak their first word until a year or older, can recognize new words as young as 10 months old. This experiment raises interesting questions about just how much babies understand what they hear around them.
They hear every word, and they're also paying attention to the things that are interesting to them.
Researchers say the lesson for parents: talk with your children, starting at a very young age.
Bryant Simon, a history professor at Temple, is uncovering another secret about our world: what it means to be a consumer in the age of globalization. Simon tracks the way the Starbucks phenomenon is changing how people socialize here and around the world. He told the New Yorker magazine that the coffeehouse chain has become the new meeting place for people who want to relax and share ideas. That's the genius of the place, says Simon. Who else is building these community spaces in America today? Sometimes research involves finding a simple solution to a persistent problem. For cardiologist Michael Barrett, teaching students how to properly use their stethoscopes is a vital part of their medical training. Frustrated by traditional methods, Dr. Barrett discovered that iPods could make a difference in the way medical students learn the subtle differences between heart murmurs.
I taught medical students for years, and I knew that the teaching was ineffective. They were not able to recognize these heart sounds.
In fact, studies show physicians in training don't score very high when picking up abnormal heart murmurs.
We think the reason they don't pick it up is they're never taught properly in the first place how to listen for these sounds.
And how is this going to turn these students into the doctors that they want to be and they need to be? How is this going to benefit patients in the long run?
Traditionally, medical students only recognize about 20% of these abnormal heart sounds. After they go through this training with the iPod or a CD, they can recognize 80% of the sounds. So we think that they will diagnose problems earlier and they can be referred more appropriately.
It really makes it stick, and you feel like you've actually gotten something out of it and developed your skills. It's something that you can do on your own.
Faculty and students learn best when they can take advantage of today's state-of-the-art facilities. With nearly $500 million in construction and renovations underway, Temple is transforming its campuses at an unprecedented level. The technology investments alone earned the university a top ranking as one of America's most connected campuses. In early 2006, a $16 million tech center opened its doors and became the largest on-campus computer facility of its kind in the nation. With 700 computers, specialized labs, breakout rooms that encourage students to work together, a 24-hour help desk, and naturally, a Starbucks. The Tech Center averages 6,000 users daily. I can actually focus better here, one student told the Chronicle of Higher Education. Another student summed up the center with 2 words: it's awesome. Temple's impact on its local community is equally awesome, accounting for nearly $3 billion annually in economic activity in metropolitan Philadelphia. Temple is a proud and prominent member of this diverse city.
Hey, we are at Temple University on North Broad Street.
Adding to that impact is the recent growth in Temple's residential student population. More than 9,000 live here now. That residential growth has fueled well over $180 million in private development near main campus. As one local television reporter said while flying over the main campus,
we want to show you the first private development in North Philadelphia in anybody's recent memory, and it's called Avenue North, and it's helping transform Temple further. So a lot of good stuff happening around Temple University besides.
The changes are also gaining national attention. The New York Times reported, the transformation of Temple University in recent years from a commuter school to a residential campus with a more geographically diverse student population is stimulating private investment in one of the city's most troubled neighborhoods. Perhaps the one constant at Temple these days is that even as it undergoes major changes, its commitment to quality leadership remains strong. At the helm of Temple's men's basketball team for 24 seasons, Hall of Fame coach John Chaney announced his retirement and reflected on his career and the people who helped him along the way.
I just know that Frank Sinatra once said, "Excuse me while I disappear."
Chaney's retirement paved the way for a unique transition, as Fran Dunphy, a longtime Big Five coach from the University of Pennsylvania, was named the 17th men's basketball coach in Temple's history. The year also saw Al Golden named as Temple's new head football coach. Coupled with the impressive work of women's basketball coach and Olympic medalist Dawn Staley, the future of Temple's athletic program is clearly in good hands. A major transition is also taking place at the top of Temple's leadership.
Tonight, Temple University says that President David Adamany will retire on June 30th. Adamany oversaw the first major revision of the university's core curriculum in more than 20 years. Also, undergraduate enrollment increased 33%.
Ending one of the most productive presidencies in Temple's history, President David Adamany was clearly the right person at the right time. As an editorial writer for the Philadelphia Inquirer noted, President Adamany had the right recipe for Temple. The momentum moving Temple forward is clear and was raised to a new level of excitement with the announcement of Ann Weaver Hart as Temple's 9th president. Dr. Hart knows from personal experience how a great public research university can transform lives. That's one of the reasons why Dr. Hart says Temple feels like coming home. The growing residential student body, the new and established faculty, the construction and technology that is changing Temple's landscape, the distinguished leadership that is building on the achievements of the past. These stories have shown how Temple is evolving as a dynamic urban research university. That's a story everyone connected with Temple can take pride in. That's Temple Today.